breast cancer, and they came out and said how they fought cancer. We had drug addicts who got over their catastrophic situations of having to deal with that plague of
Oh, that's
drugs.
awesome.
Yes.
And I felt, I never been a drinker or anything else, but I knew that if you're going to reach someone who needed help to bring them out, you had to bring somebody who's been there.
Yeah.
That was the theme of our show.
Now you say that was back in the day. How far back in the day are you talking about?
I know.
Back in the day, that's in the 90s, and uh, most I was on for 10 years every day in the morning. Back in the 90s, and I would end my show. This is your community chaplain Moses Brown, wishing you make this the very best day of your life. And that's what we gave out to the community as an encouragement. And it was when first went on, I went on as one who was going to give some encouragement to the community. Because at that time I told it was Dave Brown on the show in that morning, and he was on for years. And I said, something need to be. I just come back into town from the military, and I said something need to be done in this community, some encouragement besides just the gospel music. And that's when the Lord prompted me to go down. When I went to meet him, he told me, y'all preachers, too many of y'all anyway. Just coming around everywhere. I'm just trying to show up and show out. And I had 30 minutes of that. And at the end of his conversation, the last sentence, he said, "Come on down Monday morning."
Well, if you remember Pastor Moses from his show, give us a call at 251-9867. If you were on the show, that would be even better. 251-9867 from back in the day.
Well, maybe before you get started telling us a little bit about what's going on, you could lead us in a prayer for our listeners and for our mission.
Father, in the name of Jesus, we come to you because we are helpless without you. We can do absolutely unequivocally nothing. So we come, Lord, begging for your mercy and your guidance. We ask that you'll be our navigator in this program. That somebody out there and listen to the airwaves, Lord, will pick up on your voice and their lives will change. This we pray in the matchless name of Jesus. And all God's children said,
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. I know there's somebody out there that needs a miracle.
yes.
And so give us a call at 813-251-9867. Miracles happen every day, right here in Tampa.
Yes.
We were just talking before we came on about an event that you've been involved in for quite some time. Tell us about that event.
Well, it started when over at Lee Davis Clinic there on 22nd Street, the manager, she had...
Hold on. We got a phone call.
Yes, sir.
We had a phone call. Keep going.
The manager was coming out of her office and she was getting into her car. And there at the Lee Davis Center, she was, and many of you know that this was publicized and still is known. She was gunned down as she was trying to get in her car. And it was by her ex-boyfriend. And there, while it was happening, the children was watching. And then the Tampa Police Department asked me, would I come out? I was on Tampa TMP during that time. And they said, would you come out and just kind of help resolve some of the tension that was in the air? And, that's traumatizing for kids to watch someone shot.
Oh, my God.
And so we would come and we would sit up there in the Ponce Leon office there, and they would come out. And Florida Simpson has a lot of pictures of those days. But while we was out there, we would give them snacks. And one boy came to me and said, one thing I really want, and this was about this time of the year, I would like to have one of those Thanksgiving meals that they have on television. I couldn't fathom that because, I thought here in Tampa, in America, it wasn't that detrimental for us people going without a Thanksgiving meal, even at that. But he had watched it on television, and I asked him, what did you have last year? He said, they would have some hot dogs and other stuff. And at this time, I think his mother was on crack. And when crack, I don't know if crack is as bad as it was before, but crack would make people sell everything in their house. They gave up their dignity and everything else. And it was so traumatizing for him that he knew it was something better. And so what we did, we said we're going to put out plates. And I got on the radio, this station, WTMP, and asked the community would they bring out some dishes, homegrown collard greens, black eyed peas, cornbread, and it was amazing how the community stepped up to the plate. And so we set it up. That was the Thursday before Thanksgiving. That's what we do it every Thursday before Thanksgiving. We set it up. We had enough, about 100 and some people to come out.
Now wait, so people actually just brought food?
We brought food. This was it was a community where you didn't have as much trepidation that people have now about doing things, and they brought out food. It was like a big potluck.
Oh man!
Wow.
But only enough for 100 people.
It was enough for, it looked like about 120 some people or so. I mean, I'm not a cooker, but it looked like it was like a 3-table outline, something I have in church. But he brought, his job was to go and say, well, invite the people from the community.
Who's the little kid?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
And we thought he had about just a few friends. But in that, he had brought out about 400 people came out that day.
Wow.
I said, my God, my God, my God. When I looked at the people and looked at the table, people that was helping me coordinate this thing, they said, you might want to shut this down, because you know how sometimes colored people get when we don't have enough food.
Well, hopefully he at least got some of the Thanksgiving meal.
Well, it went on like this because we had the media out there, and when I'm in these kind of quagmires, I realize that it's a God thing, and I believe that if it's God's will, it's God's bill. I said, got my crew together. I said, no, we can't do this, because we come too far to turn around.
That's right.
And so we said we're going to go ahead through with it. And I said, God, you see what we have, and I knew what He did before. I believe that the scriptures are still as relevant, as pertinent as they were then as now. I knew that He fed 5,000 with the fish and the loaves of bread. And I know if He could do that then, He could do that now. And there on Tampa, on 22nd Street, the Lee Davis Center, we watched as people went through. And after we prayed about it, I said, let them go. And the cameras were looking. They were somewhat suspicious. They thought maybe they'd have a good headline. Food run out, fight break out, or whatever. But I said, no, when you're doing God thing, you got to do it your way. And not only did God come and bring enough food, but when He comes, He shows up and shows out.
Yes.
And He let the devil know that he was still the boss. Because when they got done with food that really should have been enough for about 100 and some, all 400 ate. And we don't just eat; we come back for seconds, and then on top
and
of the
a plate to
seconds,
take home.
hey, don't you know it? And then they come back for seconds, and then only God showed that He was still the boss because they had food left over.
Wow.
So that's the way God operates. And so from that point to this point, I knew it wasn't about me. It wasn't about me doing what I was doing, but it was about God manifesting His glory and His power.
Wow. And you've been doing it ever since, right?
I made a promise, that be careful when you make promises.
I know.
I made a promise before. I said, as long as I'm around, I will, I didn't realize I'll be around this long. I told him, I said, we'll just do this. And now some of the ones that, 29 years, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Kids that were kids then are grown, and their kids are coming out. And sometimes they come back and help.
Wow.
And so this has manifested into just a culture. And so we're trying to do it again this year.
This year, where's it going to be?
It's going to be over at Williams Park. Williams Park, that's right there off of Osborne, like Osborne and 40th area. That's 4362 East Osborne Avenue, Tampa, Florida. And we will be out there, just music, food, gifts. And we had already put in the paper, everybody get one turkey. And we got people registering now. And we're just going by faith, even though our sponsors are going to do the turkey, said no. But I do know there's a yes somewhere.
Uh-oh.
So
So wait a minute. This thing is coming up.
it's coming up
You promised the turkeys.
by faith.
The sponsor said, we can't do it.
They told me that last few days ago.
And
But God,
okay.
I have never seen Him fail. That's the thing about it. That when I say that was about me, I'll be panicking.
Right.
But I know that this is His thing. If it's God's will, it's God's bill.
I like that. How many turkeys you need?
We need 1,000 turkeys.
1,000 turkeys. Listeners out there, time to take some action. Yeah. Get gobbling. He needs these turkeys by the 19th of November, I know somebody out there is going to be touched and step up to the plate.
Well, God always got his vessels out there, and he uses whom he wishes. And the blesser always is blessed
Yes.
from
Yes.
blessing.
Yes.
Last year, I want to let people know that the man that's hosting this program, Brother Paul, brought out bicycles and toys for the kids, and many of them are riding it today.
That was fun.
And so we thank you immensely.
Yes.
For strong man of compassion. I
Yes.
love the Paul family, and I thank God
Thank
for
you.
anointing you.
I think we're going to be back out there this year.
Amen. We look forward to seeing you.
We might even have a few bikes to give away.
Do y'all hear that? Come on, let's ride.
You know, I didn't know what to expect last year, and we kind of did the same thing. We said we'd provide some bikes. We didn't know how many. We just tried to get them as much as we could. And I don't remember how many bikes we had. Do you remember?
Well, I know I couldn't park a car in the garage.
It was a whole garage full of bikes. It took a little rental truck to move them there. But when I got there, I wish that we had more, because there were so many kids out there that wanted them. And, you hate to turn away a little kid that,
yes,
really wants something. But, you do what you can do. We're going to try to do it again this year. So listeners, remember this date, November the 19th, Osborne, Williams Park at 4362 East Osborne Avenue, Tampa. If you've ever been to one of these events, or if you went to that very first one and witnessed the miracle, give us a call at 813-251-9867. People think that miracles don't happen nowadays.
If you look up in the dictionary by miracles, you'll find my name. I'm a walking miracle. And I've done this, and I don't know if I can extend this part of my own personal life,
sure,
how it kind of went my way, because it was even further back. A little girl named Cherry. She was a rape victim at 13 years old. She didn't know what was going on, but she went to the hospital when her sister said that they could not keep the baby, and that she asked the doctor, said, "Do you know anyone that will keep a child?" And out of that experience, Dr. Gatlett in Plant City, Florida, knew of a couple, Anna and Leroy Brown, and they went to that hospital and they got that baby, and they named that black bastard baby, they called him at that time, Moses Samuel Brown.
Oh, wow.
And here I am.
Wow.
The devil should have got rid of me a long time ago. So I know I'm a miracle. And I met my mother later on, because I didn't even know the story. I didn't know I was adopted.
Wow.
But the people that adopted me said, "I'm giving the name Moses because we got you the bull rushes." And they had a story in 2010 on the front page of Tampa Tribune, Mother Brown. And and you can always Google that up.
I'll check that out.
It was on Mother's Day, 2010, Mother's Day. It was Mother Brown. She had over 100 or so foster kids came through that system, and she only adopted a few of us. So in that adoption, she always told me, she said, "Listen, don't just let this thing," after I found out I was adopted and being rebellious, she said, "Don't let this go to waste." She said, "Make something out of your life. Do something with it, because you can go around here fussing and cussing and everything else and not accomplishing nothing." But God was in this thing. And when I realized God was navigating my hurt, my bitterness, my darkest point to develop me, then I realized, this is bigger than me. And so here I am. I said, "Lord, I got to give back." And this part that I'm doing on the 19th is a commission by God, even from letting me live, doing that day in Plant City, Florida on April the 22nd, Earth Day.
Wow. If people want to get involved, help you out, or even donate 1,000 turkeys, how do they get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me. You can go to our website. It's www.feedourchildren.org. That's feedourchildren.org. You can always call us. When you get on that, you'll see our phone number up there. We have a new number for this event. But just get on there. And you can email me at feedourc@aol.com, and just make yourself connected. And we have plenty of opening for volunteers to come out and help. And you just want to come out and be a blessing. We have good music out there. We got good sound, and we just praise God anyhow.
Yep, we just posted the picture of the flyer on our Facebook page. We got a caller. Welcome to the Call for Help show.
Good morning.
Good
I'm
morning.
one of those people who remember Reverend Brown. This is the deeds of Greater Mount Carmel. Thank you
Praise
so
God.
much for your vigilance. And I want to offer the feeding ministry of Greater Mount Carmel Development Corporation to support your turkey drive.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Talk later, and God is able to do all things exceedingly and abundantly. Those turkeys are going to be in abundance. I'm declaring and decreeing that.
Oh, I received that. Glory.
I'm in agreement.
Thank you so much. I
Thank
received that, and thank you for your perpetual support.
Yes, and we'll see you out there on Thursday, November the 19th.
You sure will.
Thank you.
Praise God. Thank you for calling.
You're also doing one in Plant City, right?
Yeah, we're doing one in Plant City, the school system. I was trying to get out of that one, but
I like your honesty.
yes, I when you call in ministry, you usually trying to get out of it, but because I know what it takes to even go through those things. So in Plant City, we have a lot of migrant families over there struggling. I don't know if people know what it's like to live in a trailer and just depend on just the stuff you pick out in the field.
Yeah.
There's hundreds of them. And the social worker from the school system in Plant City area, they said, can you help our migrant workers this year? And I said yes. If he called me, I know this one was taking all. So on the 2 days before we do the one in Plant City, we're gonna be do the one in Tampa. We're gonna be in Plant City on the 17th.
Where's that gonna be?
At the Martin Luther King Center. That's gonna be Martin Luther King Recreation Center. That's 1601 East Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard. There in Plant City, and it's right off Maryland Avenue and Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard. We're gonna be there with many of the poorest of the poor. We it's different in Tampa. It's two different cultures.
Absolutely.
You just drive a little further down on 60, and you run into people picking in the field, and they're trying to put their life together and hoping for the next meal. And so we want to give them dignity. What I want to do is always leave family with dignity.
Yes.
Because it could be me. I'm just a few checks away from me and my wife. I don't know if she'll come out there with me from being out there having to do what we got to do. Amen. So I believe that when I lead people, I want to empower them, not just give them something. I want to empower. So when we give that family that turkey, that's giving them that's why I'm just give them a meal. I give them a turkey to take with them, so when they go home, they can fix something for their own family.
Oh wow!
And that gives them dignity.
Now, do you have the turkeys for that event?
No. No, but God does.
Yes, He does.
And is that another 1,000 that you need?
No, we over there that's a smaller group that we're working with, and that's going to be kind of going by the school system. So we told them about pick up about at least 200 or so, and so we're expecting about 250 that they'll give us those names and they'll come out directly. So I just kind of put it like that because I know the building's not as big and the area's not as big.
Is the menu going to be the same, or
the menu's going to be the same? We'll have enough and we got the food to feed them. We don't have the turkeys to give them.
Got it. So did you grow up in Plant City?
South Florida Baptist Hospital. That's where I was born, Plant City.
Okay.
They're in Plant City, the metropolitan city of Hillsborough County.
Strawberry capital.
Hey,
Don't you know it? You must been around here for a while.
Yeah, the Strawberry Fest. What's that restaurant we go to over there?
Fred's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fred's after church on Sunday.
Yes, and they have one over in Brandon.
Yes.
Is it Brandon?
It's
Yes.
Brandon. Yeah.
Talking about some good eating. Y'all making me hungry.
813-251-9867. We had I guess nobody out there's got any needs today because haven't heard a call yet.
I know.
Well, there's always some needs, and I want to just tell someone that's listening this morning. I don't think you're just listening by your own. God has led you to this time to turn on this station at this particular time, because I feel as many of you are going through things that even in your house right now, there may be chaos and It may be just a dark spot in your life. And you may be looking for a job and trying to say, Lord, I don't know what I'm going to do. Or you may look in your pantry and it looks empty. And you want to say, Lord, I'm going to feed my family today. One thing we do, Paul, we keep food around that when they call us, we don't ask no questions. We have people that volunteer to just take a thing of groceries to the family. That's all year long. And,
you know, I think a lot of people might have the misconception that, hey, there's like food stamps available to people. So really, hunger is not an issue in our society.
When the food stamp system is predicated upon what you make, or if you try to do better for yourself, they do less for you. So you can make $1 over their quota, and they drop your food stamps $100. And so you're trying to stretch this thing, trying to feed 3 or 4 children, and trying to at the same time empower yourself to get back on your feet. So it's a lot of people in the community just trying to do better and wondering, is it worthwhile trying to do better if I'm going to get punished for trying to empower myself?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So there is an issue of hunger in
Oh goodness, yes. I walked in many homes where they were trying to pay their light bill, or the lights have gone off. As many lights have gone off, and they're sitting there trying to say, okay, what can I do here to feed my 3 children here and not get no child support? Dad is in jail, locked up for whatever reason, and then so they have to kind of manifest themselves. You know, when you get locked up, I mean, everything stops. One of the parents, everything stops, and so the check stops, and all everything just starts tumbling over and over, and then you find yourself, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And so we have made ourselves available to answer prayers.
That's good.
So when they look at, that's why we're in the Sentinel every other Friday, where they can call us, and they have the number down there. They can call us, and we just open up our doors. The school system, some of the schools have do hand drives for us, and so that's why we keep the food all year long.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Wow. What's the number again?
They can call us at 813-784-1021. It almost sounds like a tax number, but it's 813-784-1021.
Wow. You can call us at 813-251-9867. You know, I was involved in an event this week. Talk about feeding people.
Yes.
We talked about it on the show last week, but I'm a member of the Kiwanis Club, and
good people.
We do a barbecue every year. This was my first year ever being involved in it, and it's a big fundraiser for the club, and they use the money to help kids and stuff like that. So the members of the club barbecue chicken, and then sell tickets, and you know, people come and pick it up, or we deliver it to them. But I'd never been involved in it. We barbecued 10,000 chicken dinners. So I asked them, I said, what time do I need to get there? Because I knew you had to get there early. Somebody said something about 4 o'clock in the morning, and they go 2 a.m.
Yes.
So my wife here decides that she can't sleep that night, and the light finally went out at 12:30, and the alarm went off at 1:30. But I got myself out there, and we had a lot of fun.
Luckily, we didn't hear anybody say, because Paul can't cook, and I was so shocked to see him out there making barbecue chicken. He doesn't even cook at home, and he's out there trying to help with 10,000 chicken.
I personally made over 1,000 chicken dinners that day. So this whole thing about you never cook, I cooked 1,000 meals right there.
Got a phone call.
Phone caller. Welcome to the Call for Help show.
Okay.
Yeah, we keep getting hang
The
ups.
old preacher said the chicken, when he had the chicken dinner, said they died that we may live.
This was a lot of chickens,
Yeah.
let me tell you.
Did you give them all away?
Well, they sold tickets.
So, but
Yeah, they all
go?
went.
Okay.
They all went.
got a caller.
We got a
Another caller.
caller. Welcome to the Call for Help show.
Yes, this is Call for Help show. Calling from the NAACP, calling for help.
Okay.
We need help to sell out the Freedom Fund dinner next Friday night. That's going to be at USF with our theme of pursuing liberty and the faith of justice. And I know
you know about that, Mr. Attorney.
Yes.
We need help for you to get the word out, for you to get a table. And we want to let everybody know we ain't sold out, but we're trying, and we want people to walk up to them. You can buy tickets at the door if you have to.
Okay.
And our tickets are not going up in price. They're going to stay at the price of $75. So it's from at the USF Embassy Suites next Friday, October 30th, right before Halloween. So we asking the Call for Help show to please help the NAACP Hillsborough County branch sell out because we're running tickets, but we ain't moving fast as we used to.
How does somebody get the tickets?
On the Call for Help show, is that possible?
Yes, it is. You call, we're here. We're here for you.
So the NAACP branch, the second vice president, I'm asking you to help us get sold out because we ain't there yet. So I'm calling for help.
Okay. What's the number that they call to get a ticket? How do they get a ticket?
They can get a ticket by calling 234 COTE or 234, which is 8683. They can stop by our office on 308 East Martin Luther King Jr. Suite C. Or if you're sophisticated and got a computer, you can go to Hillsborough NAACP.org. NAACP.org. Hillsborough NAACP.org. And you can go to the Freedom Fund Donor link and you can actually pay by credit card with PayPal.
Wow.
Help us out, man. We showed up to y'all on your cases. Okay.
Give us that date one more time.
That date is October the 30th, next Friday. We have a reception at 6 p.m. and we have the dinner start at 7 p.m. The Embassy Suites at USF on Spectrum Boulevard. That's next Friday night. Come on out before the Halloween night.
Do you have a special speaker or anything like that?
We have Simeon Terry. Simeon O'Terry is the Vice President of Diversity for Austin Commercial, which is a $1 billion construction management entity. Wow. And he's coming all the way from Dallas, Texas. And their company has one of the largest projects out at Tampa International Airport called Conrad ATM. And he's going to be bringing in our Pursuing Liberty in the Face of Justice.
All right. Well, we're going to sell this thing out.
So I'm calling the Call for Help. We need to get these tickets rolling. So please help us out.
How many tickets do you need to sell at this point?
Well, we done sold almost about 250. We want to try to do at least 500. So we're about halfway there. And we need more, and they're steady coming in because Tampa's a walk-up community.
Yes.
So we got about another 200 to go. So we need to Call for Help.
Okay.
And you can buy a table of 10, for $750, which is $75 a ticket. And the prices are not going up. There was somebody saying they're going up. They're not going up. But I'm calling the Call for Help show.
All right. Ask you a question. Doesn't the
So call all your friends, all your lawyers, all your actors, and all those good people. And please help the NAACP get its mission, because this is the money we use to fight for justice and to pursue liberty in the face of justice. Okay?
I have one question for you before you go. Now, doesn't the ticket also, the price of the ticket includes your membership?
You know more than I do. A ticket includes a 1-year membership in the Hillsborough County NAACP brand. That is the thing, that's the added value. That if you go out to eat, have good network and socialize, and have a great speech, you also will be a member and get your membership card that you're having the NAACP for at least 1 year in the branch. So that's an added value that we added. So we're not making a lot of money, but we do need to pay our lights and the water and all that. So we do ask the community and ask you guys at the Call for Help show, please help the NAACP this year.
You got it. You got it. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
Well, we better call on God for this one. God, we're asking you to bring out 200 more people for the NAACP dinner on October the 30th. We have a caller. Caller, welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm calling the Call for Help. Do you all help people with beds? There's a young lady that has 4 children, and she don't have a bed, and she just moved in an apartment. And we've been trying to find places to get her some help.
Yes, we do. We've actually done that a couple of times.
Yes.
So get a hold of us. Do you have access to email, or would you like?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Right now.
All right. Eddie, what's the number she can get a hold of you at?
Yes, you can contact me at 813-841-5521. Once again, it's yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I needed to know who's from Plant City because
Who's? Oh,
This is Pastor Moses Brown from Plant City, Florida. Are you coming to?
This is Rivers, Maria Rivers.
Oh, the Rivers. You all are prominent people in the community there. Thank you so much for calling in.
All right, thank you so
Yes,
much.
give
And
us-
I'll give her the number.
Give us a call. What size of bed and everything?
She needs one for herself, maybe about a full size or queen size, and I'm not sure about her little children.
Okay.
They might have a bunk bed set, one bunk bed. She don't have any living room furniture. She don't have anything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did she recently move or something? And
Yeah, she moved from one apartment to another, and it was old, dirty furniture that she had.
uh-huh.
She put it outside to the dumpster.
Mhm.
She lives over on East Hillsburg. You
Okay.
know, and we've been trying to help her find something. She's trying to work. She has a handicapped 10-year-old girl.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay.
And we really been trying to help her.
Well, thank God for that, and thank you for what you're doing. And we're just going to call on the listeners right now. If you think you can help out in this situation, if you've got some furniture you'd like to donate, call the Call for Help show at 813-251-9867, 813-251-9867, or send us an email at callforhelpshow@gmail.com. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for what you're doing. We're definitely going to help this person out, and we call on everybody here to step up.
Bless you all too. Thank you.
Thank
Okay, have a blessed
you.
day.
One of the things we were just talking about, it seems like it's harder and harder to get an apartment these days.
Yes, it is.
Everywhere you call is going to do background check, credit check. They're being pretty picky around here. I just wonder how people are finding places to live these days.
You won't believe a lot of people sleeping in their cars.
Wow.
They have, I mean, when you push against the economic wall that they build up for you to fail, I mean, it's like when you have one thing on your record or get one thing on your record, you moved out.
Mm-hmm.
Or anybody in your family have something on their record. That means they split the family.
Right.
And some people have put their own child out because they can't be there because they got something on their record.
Right.
And I see it just breaking down the unit of the family.
Yeah.
And if you don't have, they want first month's rent, present rent, and last month's rent. How you gonna do that?
Yeah, and then they want an application fee.
Yes.
Application
For
fee.
each adult.
Yeah.
It is.
Sometimes I think some of these people are just taking applications and keeping the money.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. I mean, how much application can you do to
I
put
know.
a piece of paper in a drawer? You gonna charge me $100 to do that?
Yeah.
I mean,
If you get 20 people looking at the same apartment, they're getting an application fee for
yes.
all of those people, and you're only gonna pick one person to live in the place.
You got it. It's I have to be candid. It's almost like a scam,
Yeah.
and they are just putting more suffering on the poor,
Yes.
and I think it's catastrophic. And I empathize with them, and I pray that something has to change in the system.
Yeah. Rent's going up around here too.
Yes.
Have you noticed that? The rent has risen, and I think the statistics are showing, more and more people are renting, and that, there's a lot of demand out there. The rates are going up. I don't know how people can afford it. You look at any 2-bedroom apartment, you're looking at least $800 to $1,200 a month.
And the landlords is not making the place any better. If I was going to put the rent up, I would come out at least, make the place. And I'm not all landlords. I know many of you do very well, but many places in areas I've gone through, it has not changed. I mean, still leaks come from the roof, and it's just not worth it. When you look at it, you say, "My God, am I paying all this money to live in a dump?"
Mm-hmm.
And you could do better. And then it's the same price. You can actually go into New Tampa area. You have some of the same price as you have in the deep hood.
Right.
But
then you can't get anywhere.
That's the truth.
They blocked you out because they have so many little layers that you have to go through, and they know that probably one of those layers you're not going to be able to get over that hurdle, and so you're stuck.
Yeah. Do you think there's still racial discrimination going on?
Oh my goodness. I was born black. I'm gonna die black, and I know that there's time I have to get back. But I do know that it's inherited especially in this culture we in, that there is there's racist people everywhere, and then also, man, I take it to another level. Even in our own black group, there's envious spirits and that crab mentality. Many times we don't help each other move up, and then we have jealousy when someone tried to get up. And that's why even in school system, I have to go and talk to young kids about don't be intimidated by making an A, and because many of their own colleagues, that you think you're better than us, you're talking like a white person and all of that foolishness because they try to improve themselves. No, you improve yourself. Be all you can be,
right?
And don't let no one hold you back, because when you stay back there with them, my mother said, birds of a feather will flock together. You want to get out of that nest and move on. Then when you get to your position where you're able to help, do like Paul, reach back and pull somebody else up.
That's very true, because you find like in those Pinellas Park systems, you find that these kids that are getting the A's are like kind of taking themselves back to do less because they want to fit in with the crowd, because they're afraid of the retaliation of what they're going to get. That's what's happening.
Yeah, you're actually referring to the schools in Pinellas County. I don't know if y'all been reading about this in the paper, but there were 5 schools over in South St. Pete that back in 2007, after a Supreme Court case, allowed the schools to basically segregate again, allowed the school boards to vote to resegregate, I think is what they're calling it. They did in that district, and those 5 elementary schools over in South St. Pete are ranked among the bottom in the entire state, and they weren't before this decision was made. And the Tampa Bay Times did an expose on it, just outstanding reporting. But basically, a lot of the teachers left, and it's chaos over there. These little kids are getting bullied, beaten up. They're scared to go to school. The teachers are actually afraid of some of the elementary school children. And the U.S. Department of Education, the secretary came there this week, and he said, this is education malpractice. So hopefully something's going to be done about those schools. But these are things that are going on right in front of us. And if this paper hadn't done a story about it, I don't think anything would have been done.
It's bullying takes form not just in physical transactions, but it can take bullying in academics. Because you are put in a position where you're not able to reach your maximum because others are trying to keep you down. One thing about the schools, segregation or non-segregation, there was a day when there was, you can call it segregation, but the students achieved at a level just as high as those that were in the white schools. How did they do that? Because they had teachers that cared. They had teachers that not just set them down. I mean, I had some little knocks on my hands for missing spelling words there at Lincoln Elementary, but the teachers visited the mothers and the fathers of those homes. It's not that they are in an all-black school, but it's who they allowed to teach them and oversee their growth. So if you got somebody in there just for the check, they're just going to do the very minimum to get that child out of there. But if you got somebody there because they care about the growth of this child, they will do everything. They'll work after hours. They will call those parents and they'll be there for them. That's why I like Ms. Edgecombe when she asked me to come to Robles Elementary. I was over there working, assisting her. She was the principal there. I'm looking at Edgecombe. She's on the board now for Hillsborough County Schools, but she used to be the principal there in Robles Elementary, and I was over there with her. And we had about, I think, 1,000 some kids there. But what she did was she made that school a family. You didn't walk in that place unless you say good morning. And they worked over trying to build pride in those children. And they went from the F to, they got up to a C, they got up to a B, but you saw the difference in what happened when you had the teachers making contact with those kids. And there's a lot of stuff going on in our community that we can do better.
I think we have a caller. Caller, welcome to the show.
Good morning. This is Bishop Michelle B. Patty.
God bless you.
God bless you, Chaplain. You know, we go way back.
Yes, you've been great help.
And thank you so much, a part of that. But I'm actually calling this morning with some sad news to the community. Our dearly beloved brother, Hakeem Killed the Dream, you know, who had the clothing store on the corner of Columbus Drive and North Boulevard. He passed away this morning.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Hakeem not just only sold clothes, but that was the corner. We talked politics. We registered people to vote. We got people to office right off that corner. And he's going to be sadly missed. When you talk about a community service, a servant, that was Brother Hakeem. But as a Muslim, they're actually doing the service today. And that's why this, Paul, if you don't mind, if I can give out the information about the service, which is the viewing is going to take place at 12 noon today at 12 noon. And that's going to be at Aden, A-D-E-N Funeral Home at 8037 East MLK. And that funeral home is located near the fairground. That's 8037 East MLK today at 12 noon. And from there, they're going to proceed on to the prayer, which is going to be at 3:30, and that's going to be at 5910 East 130th Avenue. That's at 3:30, 5910 East 130th Avenue. And after that, they would have, he would be buried at Sunset Cemetery, which is at 11005 US Highway 301 to know the Sample. I know that's a lot of information. If anyone needs to know more, they can give me a call, Bishop Michelle B. Patty, at 813-495-3702. And the helpline, I just say thank God for you guys. Y'all doing a tremendous job there. Chaplain, I thank God for you. You have not gotten tired yet. You've been doing this and laboring on this for many, many years, and all the people that you fed. And I just like to be a testimony. The food is always great, always good, and we just thank you all so much for all you've done, all you're going to do. For God say, whom given, much is given, much is required. So we just say thank you all so much.
Thanks, Michelle. Thanks for calling in with that information.
Yes.
Oh, that's sad.
God bless you. Brother Hakeem, the greatest, and we just say God bless him. He's grown from his labor to reward. So it's a good day when you've done all you can do on this side. Now God says it's time for your rest. So once again, anybody needing any of this information, if you're at 12, give me a call at 813-495-3702. But 12 noon is the viewing. God bless you all.
Thanks, Michelle. Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
Yes, it was when she said that he did his part here. That reminded me of a song, Bishop, that said, "If I can help somebody on this road long, then my living shall not be in vain."
Amen.
And that's what it's all about. Thank you, Bishop, for calling.
Yeah, I like that song.
I know. I thought you were going to keep going.
We've got a few singers on this show.
We have.
Well, you know, my background goes back when I used to, my singing come from a person that you wouldn't think it was. When I was 17 years old, I met him in LaGrange, Georgia. All these cameras was out there at a tent meeting, and he came out there to speak, and his name was Little Richard. And and I hadn't listened to him. My mother let us listen to Good Golly, Miss Molly, Rip It Up, Keep a Knocking, but you can't come in.
Uh-oh. Look out. Uh-oh.
And we had that going on. And at that point, he actually said, he was back into the church preaching. He said, "Would you travel with us?" And so I was traveling with Little Richard. Kept in touch with him throughout the years. I pray with him now, and he's in his late 80s.
Wow.
And God has blessed us just from having that relationship.
Oh, wow. Wow. I like that song. I sing it in the bathroom sometime when you're trying to get in the bathroom. Keep knocking, you can't come in there. I'm busy. I'm busy. Wow.
Bless you.
So what's going on in the community? If you have a need out there, give us a call at 813-251-9867. That's 813-251-9867.
You know, Paul and I were talking about this story that really caught my attention over in Bradenton, where the little girl was found in the freezer. Did you guys hear about that?
Yeah, that's so sad. The picture of her, she looked like such a sweet little child.
Yeah, 11 years old. And I was just saying to Paul, actually, on the way over here, I was just wondering how this little girl had been missing since June of 2014. And
Nobody
no
noticed.
one really noticed outside of the family why, they didn't locate her before now, or no one was just looking for her.
I don't know. You'd think somebody in the family would have been like, "Hey, where is she?" Or
the school system.
The school. She probably ended school, and who knows what the mom said. Seems like they're pointing to the mother as being the culprit. She's been charged not with anything relating to the child's death, but with desecrating a corpse. I think they're investigating her. They said her children said that she was very abusive and used to lock this girl up in the bathroom for weeks at a time.
Oh my goodness.
Pastor, what do you say about a person like that?
There is, I think people that have mental illness, you try to pinpoint a rational reason, and there's no rationality to it. And when they get to that position, they are truly, I think, this mental illness. And when someone spots it immediately, that's when people should speak out.
Yes. Yeah, you need to. I mean, not to get in other people's business, but there's a line there where somebody needs to do something. I don't know how much the state was involved with this family or whatever, but wow, what a tragedy.
It is. And I mean, she has 5 children. I mean, you obviously can't say, okay, you can't keep having kids, but she has 5, and it seems like she's abused all 5. I mean, DCF was involved many times. I just don't know how they, couldn't intervene before now. I don't know.
I guess more to be said on that story, but our prayers go out to this child, and we ask that justice be done for her. But that's a really sad.
Yeah.
That was a sad comment on our community that someone wouldn't have noticed, that she was gone before now. I guess they finally figured it out. But if you know something is going on, especially if it relates to a child, that child is basically defenseless against their own parent. And we as a community have to step in at times and protect that child.
Paul, on this topic, I have 4 kids of my own. And one thing that you see nowadays is the lack of parenting. I believe that society has made it easier for parents to take their responsibility away and just give it to the system or to the schools. Or no, we still have to be parents. Ultimately, I'm responsible for my children. It's my responsibility to know where my kids are at. It's not the system. It's always easy to pass the buck to somebody else and not take responsibility for your own mistakes in life. Yeah. And unfortunately, as humans, even in the garden, it was the woman. We passed the buck from the beginning.
But wasn't it really the woman?
No.
It's parenting. We have to be parents. We have to be accountable for what our kids are doing. I say as long as you're doing what you can, you know, they're gonna make ultimately their own decisions. We were kids and we made our own decisions, but you can't make that an excuse for lack of parenting. You know, nowadays it's like, hey, I'm going to work, daycare. Hey, did you do your homework? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to start cooking. Hey, all right, is your homework, is everything good? Okay, good night. Then the next day, hey, you're going back to daycare. Oh, we got church tonight. Hey, let's stick them in another room away from the parents. And so in society, everything's like, let's take the responsibility of parenting, and we don't realize that ultimately, you know, we're taking that away from them, and now they're not taking that responsibility that they should take.
Yeah, it's a sad commentary. Although I think as we always look back, like you started off this show, Pastor, back in the day, it was always better than it is right now, right?
Because moms were home, right? Moms were home with the kids a lot of the times, you know, and the husbands were out working, bringing home the bacon.
Yeah, but you try to pay that rent on one salary.
But you got disciplined.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And the teacher could beat us.
You know, you got discipline. Nowadays, we gotta be sensitive. But you know, there was discipline. You know, there's discipline and there's abuse.
Well, you go in the grocery store and beat Tommy and see what happens.
And yeah, exactly. But once again, I don't discipline my kids out of anger. I discipline them out of love. And not if you're angry, don't discipline when you're angry. There's discipline, and then there's just abuse. And that is where we've taken the discipline, because now you did that out of abuse. No, look, do you understand why I discipline you? You do. Okay, well, just know that I love you, but explain to the child. I believe not only do you discipline them, you ask them, do you understand what you did wrong? Yes. You understand why it is what it is. Okay, cool, I love you. But just like I said, it's all about parenting. I believe it's just parenting.
May I add to that? You know, a lot of our black men are in prison today because of that lack of father interaction. I'm speaking to the black men right now. You know, take time for that nephew or your son. You know, put your arms around them. You know, one thing I know with my dad, I could jump in his lap. And before he died, I could put my arms around him, and I just loved on him. And I think that kind of gave me a balance in there. But many of those in prison now have never heard their daddy say, I love you, never had a hug from them. And they are going through that. But on a good note, you know, there's hope. And Tampa Bay, it's going to get better. And I'm looking for that day when things pick up and look better, and we got the possibility to do that.
And it is going to happen, and you are going to get those turkeys.
Hallelujah.
And one more time, let's give out that information. It's on our Facebook page. Like us on Facebook. The date is in Tampa on Thursday, November the 19th, 2015, at Williams Park, 4362 East Osborne Avenue at 3 o'clock. Feed Our Children Ministries will have their 29th annual pre-Thanksgiving Community Children and Family Day.
And quickly, October 30th, the USS Embassy Suites at 6 p.m. The meeting will start, 7 p.m. dinner for the NAACP Pursuing Liberty in a Safe Justice. So tickets are $75, a table of 10 for $750, and they need 250 more tickets to be sold. So come on out.
Yes, and if you have a bedroom set, if you have some furniture you'd like to donate, send us an email at callforhelpshow@gmail.com, and we'll hook you up with this young lady. But I do want people out there to know that there is a lot going on. There's a lot of bad in the world, but there's also a lot of good. If you've been touched by this program, if you've been touched by Pastor Brown's awesome message, please support us here on the Call for Help show. Thank you, Pastor Brown, for everything you do.
Thank you, Attorney. Appreciate
you.
All right,
we'll see you next week.